Long ago, around the late 13th century BC, the sun blazed over the dusty plains east of the Jordan River. For 40 long years, the Israelites had wandered the wilderness carrying stories of Egypt's chains and God's miracles like scars on their hearts. Families camped in makeshift tents. Children asked endless questions about the land, flowing with milk and honey. And warriors sharpened their blades, unsure if they would live to see victory or fall in battle. The people's great leader, Moses, was gone. His voice that once thundered at Pharaoh and comforted Israel in the desert had fallen silent. Now, standing before this restless nation was Joshua, Moses' apprentice, a man of courage but also a man who knew the weight of fear. Everyone looked to him. Would he succeed where others had failed? Would the God who parted the Red Sea now help them cross the Jordan? The atmosphere was tense. The Canaanites across the river lived in fortified cities with towering walls. From the outside, Israel looked like wandering nomads, hardly a match for armies trained in war. Whispers ran through the camp. What if we lose? What if God leaves us? Yet Joshua stood tall, clinging to the words God had spoken. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. And so, Joshua did something bold. He sent 2 spies into Jericho, the mighty city whose walls seemed to scrape the sky. There, an unlikely ally emerged, Rahab, a woman living on the edge of society who risked everything to hide them. She confessed that Jericho's people were already trembling, not because of Israel's swords, but because they had heard of Israel's God. Soon the day came to cross the Jordan. The moment their feet touched the water, the current stopped. The riverbed dried, and the entire nation, men, women, children, cattle, every soul walked across on solid ground. The splashing of sandals on dry earth, the gasp of mothers holding babies, the whispered prayers of elders who had once crossed the Red Sea as children. God was with them, but the challenges were just beginning. At Jericho, Joshua was confronted not with a military strategy, but with a test of obedience. God told them not to charge with weapons, but to march silently around the city for 6 days. On the 7th day, with trumpets blasting, the walls of Jericho crumbled to the ground. Victory was theirs, not because of might, but because of faith. Yet the very next battle was different. Israel lost. Why? Because one man, Achan, disobeyed God and kept treasures for himself. The camp was thrown into fear and confusion. It wasn't until they humbled themselves, confessed, and turned back to God that victory came again. The lesson was clear. Faith without obedience collapses, just like Jericho's walls. Now pause for a moment. Isn't that how life feels sometimes? One day the walls of Jericho fall and everything feels like a miracle. The next day, we face defeat because of hidden sins, broken trust, or misplaced pride. Maybe your Jericho is financial struggles, and you're waiting for God to tear down the walls of debt. Maybe your Jericho is a broken relationship, where betrayal or lies have left you crushed. Or perhaps, like Joshua, you're simply standing at the river of decision, unsure if you have what it takes to move forward. It's in these moments that the words of Isaiah 41:10 become alive. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Do you hear that? God didn't promise Joshua easy battles. He promised his presence, and that same promise stretches across time to you. Fear not. You are not alone. As the story of Joshua unfolds, we see victory after victory, but not because Israel was the strongest. It was because they learned to trust God's timing, God's methods, and God's strength. And when they failed, they learned that repentance opened the door to restoration. Today your battles may not involve fortified cities or raging rivers, but the lesson is the same. Trust when the walls seem impossible. Obey when pride tempts you to go your own way. Believe that God fights as not just for you, but with you. So as you face your week, hear God's voice echoing through the centuries. Fear not, for I am with you. The same God who held back the Jordan, who crumbled Jericho, and who lifted Joshua from fear to courage, that God has not changed. Whatever wall you're staring at today, whatever Jericho has knocked you down, know this: God's hand is still strong enough to hold you up. So rise, step forward, be strong and courageous, because the battle has never been yours alone, and the victory is closer than you think.